Hey y'all, I'm Angela Barrett, and this is Talking South Carolina. Now y'all take a load off and listen, because no matter if you just moved here, thinking about moving here, been here your whole life, or you just plain nosy, bless your heart, I'll have something for you. Like, who's living in High Cotton? Who's madder than a wet hen? Places to go if you got a hankering for fried chicken, and where you can go to get drunk as Cooter Brown. We'll talk pig pickings, cow tipping, Tillions, hay rides, who's buttering whose biscuits, what's a case quarter, and lots of other stuff. So stay a while. Y'all, it's gotta be a hoot.
This episode of the Talking South Carolina podcast has been brought to you in part by HomeMattersSC.com, professional real estate services and marketing in the Midlands of South Carolina for people who want more. And by SimplyArley.com, video editing, podcast production and consulting, graphic design, you name it. And now she's a realtor by day and a podcaster by night. Here's your host of the Talking South Carolina podcast, Angela Barrett.
Hey guys, today with me I have the Defibrillators. It's a band out at the beach, down at Myrtle Beach. I have Warren here with me today out of the three-piece band. Hey, Warren.
Hey, how are you today?
I am doing good. Thanks so much. So you guys are down at the beach, right?
That's correct. We're a band, three-piece band based out of Conway, and we travel from Wilmington down to Florence and then back around through the Grand Strand area.
Yeah, cool. Now, you guys are not originally from the beach.
That's correct. All three of us sort of are a melting pot from different areas of the United States. We had myself, I played the D.C. Baltimore circuit for 35 years in two separate bands, and then came down here in 2000, bought a house in 2015, and then lived here full-time since 2022. And our drummer, Deacon Hughes, he's originally from Stillwater, Oklahoma, went into the Navy, and then was stationed in Anchorage, then went to Las Vegas, and that's where he met and played with the Classics 4. You might have heard of them. They played Spooky back in the 60s.
Yeah.
And so he's moved here to Conway back in the early 2000s and played with some other local bands. And then Rena DeLoza, our guitar player, he's originally from the Finger Lakes area of New York, played regionally up there with numerous bands, and then moved out here as well about 15 years ago, and has played in numerous local bands. And we just all sort of met each other through they have a lot of what they call open mics and band jams and stuff like that throughout the areas where you can meet up and play with other musicians. And that's how we sort of met. And we've been having fun ever since.
Yeah, well, good. Now, how long have y'all been playing together?
So we've only been together since May of this year. But at that time, we've done over 30 band jobs already. Mm-hmm. We've got, we'll be playing September 7th at Avalina Bar down at Barrows Inlet. And then September 11th, which is a big day, obviously. My background, I had 20 years with Homeland Security, so that's a big day for me. But we'll be playing at Patio's Tiki Bar and Grill up in Little River.
Yeah, my favorite.
A lot of special things going on that day up there for the veterans and our first responders. So everybody needs to come out and support.
Yeah, I'm a frequent flyer down at Little River. That's where my parents are. So I'm there a good bit, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Fun place. Now, so you told me how you guys met. How long did it take you kind of to meld together? I mean, so you decided, hey, we should play. And
well, it doesn't take long if you've been playing for 30 or 40 years, like we've all been doing.
Right.
Luckily, all of us are very seasoned musicians and played with some pretty big name artists. I had the pleasure of playing with like Chuck Berry and the Blues Brothers and stuff like that. So
wow.
We got to open up for them. So we got to meet them. Both Deacon and I in separate bands opened up for Kansas. So that was neat. So some of our paths have sort of crossed the years in different states. So just playing so many band jobs and just the experience of playing so much, you sort of fall in pretty quick. It's just learning each other's style and And then, obviously working the harmonies and that sort of thing out for vocals. But it doesn't take too long usually if you're a pretty seasoned musician.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some pretty big names there. Now, you guys play like blues, classic rock, and oldies.
Yes, ma'am.
So mostly cover songs. Have you all started writing anything?
They're all cover songs. So, if you enjoy some good beach music like Dock of the Bay or Pipeline or something that brings back memories from the 60s, we can do that. But we can also do, your rock and roll stuff. So if you want some Leonard Skinner or something like that, or Bad Company, we can do a little bit of that. Or we can also do some oldies like, Kansas City or, that kind of thing, or Sleepwalk, Santil and Johnny back in 57. So we do a little bit of everything, and we do some country as well, a few country songs mixed in. So we try to please everyone. We're there to please the crowd and to have fun and enjoy ourselves too. So it's a real nice to be able to have the people. Met a lot of great people down here at the Grand Strand area where we go, and some of them we actually met from playing music. It's pretty neat because some of them come down here on vacation and go, I remember seeing you in this band back in this day, or vice versa. So it's pretty
Right.
neat. So we met a lot of nice people this year, and so it's been a really fun time for all of us. We enjoy what we do, so and that's 99% of it. You got to enjoy what you do. The setting up and the tearing down and some of the late nights. That's not so fun, but all that's made up with playing music. So that's what we love to do.
Yeah. You're right. The setting up and the taking down and the late nights. I bet that wouldn't be fun. So now, what brought you guys? I mean, because again, you're not from here originally. What brought you to the beach other than it's the beach?
Well, okay. So for myself, it's a place where I came as a kid growing up, and for vacation, like a lot of people that are transplanted here. And I can remember being a little boy, and I go, you know what? When I get older and I can never retire or I can never get down there, this is where I wanted to live. So for me, it was that, and for our drummer Deacon, he got here by way of sort of by music. He did karaoke business for years, and he was working resorts and that sort of thing. And back when they had the, he was working with when they used to have the gambling houses back in the late 80s and 90s and that sort of thing. He got involved in that around early 2000. He moved out to work off one of those, and that's how he got transplanted here. Reno came down just by moving down here because, again, he loved the beach, and being from New York, obviously the cold didn't agree with him as he got older, so he transplanted down here as well, and for that reason. And just the people are always so nice, and it's just a great area to live and prosper. So that's how we all got down there.
Yeah, well, we're glad you're here. I'm originally from South Carolina, born and raised, never lived anywhere else, and I grew up down close to the beach, so that is what I really call my home. But now in the Midlands here in Columbia, right outside of Columbia. But I love the beach down there, and like I said, frequent flyer down there at Little River.
Hey.
That's right. So now, tell me, you guys haven't been playing together, I guess, too terribly long, but have a lot of experience in the music world. But how do you handle mistakes when you make them on the stage?
How do you handle a mistake? You act like you didn't. You just smile and move on. It's most people that don't play music, unless it's something very egregious, you don't even know it most of the time because they're so good at covering up for it. Some of your best bands, and actually some of the ones that are on tape, if you've heard some of the songs, I myself can hear a couple of songs where they've made mistakes, and the producer says, "Love it. We're going to tape it just like that on the record." And they go, "What?" And yeah, they it's just a matter of sometimes just being able to cover for it and they just move on. It's just like anything else. You make a mistake, try to do better the next night, and you practice and in short, but after a while, it's muscle memory. Once you have the arrangements down, it's sort of like riding a bike. You don't forget. So,
Right.
like I said, for the most part, every once in a while you'll make a mistake, but for the most part, you're dead on. And like I said, it's just muscle memory from just years of learning. Once you learn the arrangements, if you read sheet music and you were young and you played some classical music, or maybe we're a band in high school or college or whatever the case may be, and you read music, the more theory you know, it's easier to go ahead and understand the nuances of the arrangement. So once you know that, the percentages of having mistakes on a stage, they minimize greatly. So again, if you do make a mistake, you just go on and power through it.
Right. Yeah, I say that about all the time. I am famous for mutilating names or the pronunciation of something. I'm like, oh well, it's just who I am. We'll move on.
Yeah, you have to move on.
That's right.
You always have to stand there and freeze up. That's for sure.
That's right. Keep it real. So,
That's it.
now you guys, when you said something about practice, how often do y'all get together and practice?
So for practice, usually just about once a week. And when we do practice, it's either just to go over an arrangement, or in a week, in about a 3-hour span, we'll learn 4 or 5 new songs for the next show. Normally we have about anywhere from like 8 to 10 shows a month. So we try to, in between, we try to change it up, because obviously we have people following us. And again, you can follow us on Facebook under the Defibrillators. So you know when we're playing next. But again, in between shows, we do that. We try to keep it fresh, change our sets up. So with our different song list. And if people come up and request a song and we don't know it, the first thing we do is we go back and write those notes down, and then that's what we practice. So for the next time, if we're there, or when we're there and that person's there, we can play it for them. Because the best thing we want to do is, obviously, in the entertainment business, you want to please your crowd and please your audience. So
Sure.
that's sort of what we do. We structure our practices for any areas of improvement, and then for any songs that were requested, and running new material. So that way, it keeps our set list fresh. So when people come, they're not naming your song. That's probably one of the worst things that bands can do. I can remember coming down. We used to always stay at Ocean Annie's at Myrtle Beach.
Right.
And so they always had bands, so we would go down and listen to the bands, but some of the bands would play the same songs in the same set every day. So after a while, if you're there for 6 days, you could name off what the next song was. That's one thing that you definitely don't want to do. You want to be able to mix it up and keep it fresh for the public there, so that way they're not bored as well.
Right. I get you. I'm going to guess you get a lot of requests for shag songs, beach music.
We do some. Yes, we do. Like
Where you are in the shag capital of the world.
Yeah. We do beach music. We do like some of the old Dick Dale songs and stuff like that, and obviously Stand By Me and Back of the Bay and Margaritaville. All the fun songs that people can sing along with. Sweet Caroline and all that good stuff. So yeah, if you want to have a good time and you come out, feel free to just sing and dance with us and enjoy yourself, have a great time. And, there's lots of great places. That's the good thing about it. You follow a band, you learn a lot of great restaurants. There's so many great restaurants and bars to go to, and different types of food and beverages and atmospheres that you can go to, right on the water, or you can go to a theater. There's so much to do and so much to follow with a band that, one night you may be playing in a formal dinner tie, formal event with your tuxedos on, and then the next night you're playing a cake party for a college kid. So it's like you have to be ready for anything, and that's one thing about being in a band. You have to be ready for any situation and be able to adapt quickly. For instance, especially down here, a lot of venues are outside, so you may get there and thunderstorms hit, so then they leave you inside, so then you have to figure out what you're going to play, softer inside compared to outside. We can play a little louder. So it's always, you have to be prepared for any situation. So, and that has happened in the past. We've traveled. I know when I was on the road, we were traveling, and sometimes we traveled to an event, and somebody's voice would go out, or you had a case of the flu going around saying have to, and be able to handle any situation to get you through the job. So a lot of times that's why a lot of us can. The good thing about our band, all three of us sing. Which not very many three-piece bands do. You get a lot of times to go on one guy singing all night. So we can have three-part harmony. So we do some Beatles and stuff like that, which a lot of three-piece bands won't do. So do a lot of stuff that it'll be fun. You'll have a great time listening to us. We enjoy what we do, and it'll show on stage, and it'll be infectious to you guys when you come out and hear us.
Yeah, I read some of the reviews, and that was one of the things that was brought up, that all three of you sing, and it was great. Obviously, along with all the other reviews, like had a great time, best band ever, love these guys. So, that was one of them, was that all three sang. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, a lot of bands will not do that, and because it's hard to find, the singers, but it helps you in the long run, because you're able to, it's the same thing. If you hear the same voice over and over and over again, eventually you sort of get bored as a patron. You're like, okay, I've heard this voice for an hour and a half, someone else. And so, with the different voice inflections and stuff like that, it keeps it fresh and keeps everybody involved. And every band member has a different style on stage too, which gives you different stage presence. So
sure,
it's a lot of fun, a lot of interacting with the crowd, a lot of good times. We do some stuff too while we're playing. We'll send out trivia questions, and you can win a Defibrillator T-shirt or koozies or something like that. So we're always doing stuff to mix it up and get the crowd involved, and making sure they're having a good time. Because without them, and without them supporting local music, the bars won't survive. We won't survive. So we really appreciate all their support.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, how did y'all come up with the name, the Defibrillators?
So we're all getting older, right? So back in the day, it was like you were sponsored by Jack Daniels, Budweiser. You were young, all that. I said, well, now we need to be sponsored by Metamucil, because we're all getting up there a little bit. And Defibrillators, that sounds good, because under it I put shockingly good music. So I said, well, that's sort of a good tagline. So that's how I sort of came up with that. I said, well, we're all getting a little older. We might need a defibrillator there on the stage, slowing down to keep us going. So, that's sort of how we came up with it as a joke, and it sort of stuck. So, and so it was pretty neat, and people like the name. So it's funny, because I remember our first write up in MyrtleLive.com. It was like, love the name. That was the first thing they said, and I started laughing. I was like, well, must have done something right. So it was neat. But you got to have something catchy so people remember the name. So I figured they'd remember this one.
That's right. So I can't really stop laughing. Excuse me. That's hilarious. And I like the Metamucil joke too. So now tell me some of the best and worst gigs, places that you've played, or since y'all been together.
Okay, well. Oh, okay. So, for some of us, in the past, some of our best gigs, like I said, I got to play these, we opened up for Chuck Berry. That was great. We opened up for Kansas. That was a great show. And like I said, Deacon has opened up for Kansas. We played the same circuits as Thurgood and stuff like that. So it was fun. Down here, some of our best gigs have been, we played locally down at, if you see us, we'll be around, we do 8-10 billiard bowl. We do shakers. Patties is always a great time. Garden City Beach Bar down at Garden City. That's a great place. So a lot of these venues you need to support because we have a good time. Some of the worst ones I ever played at. Well, we ended up playing, this was years ago, but we played at this place and a monsoon hit, and let's just say the tents that were over top of the stage of was probably for like 5,000 people, and the poor sound guy, we lost all our equipment.
I'm glad.
Probably about $50,000 at the time worth of equipment that was gone. So that wasn't real fun.
No.
Sometimes you had to deal with unrulies and stuff like that, but for the most part, we have never had that problem down here in the Myrtle Beach area. Everybody's been very accommodating. We have not had any issues as far as, anybody being unruly in the restaurant or bar or anything like that. Every once in a while that would happen. But down here, everybody is just very calm. They have a great time. They're there to enjoy themselves, get something to eat. And we've had nothing but positive experiences down here and working on the Grand Strand.
Yeah. Well, good. I tell everybody when they're moving from other states to here, we are some of the nicest people you're ever going to meet. They really don't believe me. Then they'll come up, months later and go, "You aren't kidding." I'm like, "Nope." We really are.
Very true. And the best part about it is when they do move down here from other states, they're adapting to being nicer, which is great because I see a lot of people go, "I'm having a hard time slowing down." And I do. It's not a problem. Once you get there, it's great because people are so hustle and bustle and they get down here and they're like, "But people are so nice." And I said, "Yeah, that's the way they're brought up and that's the way it should be."
That's right.
It's great. Like I said, best move of my life down here. Everyone's nice. We really appreciate everyone's support that comes out and follows us and, it takes the time out of their day because they could be doing other things. They come out and dance and have a good time and sing along. So, without them and without people like you supporting us and having us on today, local music could dry up, and we definitely don't want that. And but we really appreciate you taking the time to interview us today.
Oh, well, I'm so glad y'all did. I was excited. So have any of you guys learned how to shag yet?
I'm sorry?
Learned how to do the dance, the shag. Our Carolina. Yeah.
Okay, that's the one thing about being in a band. You're terrible dancers. Okay. So, have I been to like Fat Harold's and tried to learn it? Yes, but I'm not a great stagger, but I have done it. But but I would probably say I need some more lessons. Let's just put it at that. But it's funny, you have rhythm to play music, but when it comes to trying to dance, most musicians have two left feet. I don't know why, but they do. So I'm not the best shagger, so I guess I have to ask the other two guys about that.
Yeah. We'll just get out there and shuffle around. Nobody will know. That's right. That's what my husband does anyway. He can't dance either. Well, he could. He just doesn't like to. He can dance. He just doesn't like to. So what do you guys got coming up now? What's next?
So coming up this Thursday, or I'm sorry, not this Thursday, but this Saturday, September 7th, we'll be at the Javelina, Texas Bar and Grill that's located on Highway 707 in Myrtle Inlet, next to, or right down the road from St. James School, if you're familiar with that. And then on September 11th, big September show for 9/11 show there at Patio's Tiki Bar and Grill over at Little River. I know that Joe, Kenny, and them, the group over there, they're planning some special things, and we'll probably be giving out some small American flags and doing some trivia, giving out some defibrillator T-shirts and koozies. And
every time you say that, I laugh.
So, we'll be honoring those that served us.
Absolutely.
9/11, and so again, all first responders and veterans, make sure you show up there for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Further down the road, y'all got anything big planned?
Oh, sure. 9/28 will be at Crawdaddy in down on Pawleys Island. Then back in October, first weekend of October, we'll be back at Javelina, Texas Bar, and then the 16th of October we'll be at the Garden City Beach Bar, so we'll be there. So again, come out and see us.
Yeah.
We're always there for having a good time, and like I said, you can follow us on the Facebook under the Defibrillators.
Yeah, and now let me ask you this, because I know a couple of our local bands here, they're kind of like home. Have y'all found a home yet that you play more at than other places?
Well, there's a few. We play at the Lucky Sports Bar in Conway patio. That's we sort of circle around. So the ones that have had us quite a bit are the bars that have us quite a bit are Blitzburg, which is in Merle's Inlet, patios up in Little River, 810 Bowls of Billiards in Conway, Lucky Sports Bar in Conway. We also do quite a bit, like I said, at Shakers down in Merle's. So, we sort of travel around all around. We also do like Moose Lodges, American Legions, private entities like that, Eagles clubs, any of those types of folks. So, we do those types of venues as well. So again, but yeah, the patios, and like I said, that's probably one of our mainstays as well. And they've been very good to us.
Yeah, great people. Well, Warren, thank you so very much for being on today. And I look forward to, I'll have to make sure when I'm down there that you guys are playing close by and go by and get to hear you in person and not just on the Facebook reels, which is great, but I would like to see it in person as well.
All right. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to interview us today. And again, don't forget to come on out September 7th at Javelina Bar in Merle's Inlet and the 11th at Patios. We really appreciate you taking the time to interview us, and thank you for your support.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Talking South Carolina podcast. And let's thank the Defibrillators Band for being our special guest. To find out more about the Defibrillators Band, you can reach them at area code 703-408-7496. Or email them at thedefibsband@gmail.com. You can also find them using their social media tag @thedefibrillators. Why not check out our website at talkingsouthcarolina.com and follow us on social media. You can subscribe to the show on Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and on your favorite podcast apps. For information about being a sponsor on the show and on the website, contact us at area code 803-386-9885 or email us at angela@talkingsouthcarolina.com. This episode has been brought to you by the friendly folks at Giraffe Marketing. Find out more at giraffemarketingllc.com.
I'm gonna be the best version of me. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, roar like a lion, and I ain't even trying, no.